welcome to the room. Yash is going to be our host, and he's going to set the do all the technical back end, which really is probably one of the most important parts. And Salila is going to do the rest by carrying us through the whole process of healing. So let me just tell you a little bit about the unknown planet and why Salila. The Unknown Planet is all about creating awareness for micro and small entrepreneurship, especially from the creative wellness and the travel space. We believe that if we make India or Asia rather, Asia and Africa digitally savvy, if we can put them on a platform, if we can give them a direct to market approach, by giving them training, by giving them traction, and by giving them technology, we can make them completely uh, win over the hearts of the world. I think we have enough of beauty to mesmerize the world. Now, the reason why Salila and especially Nilambri also is one very simple reason. They are the best of the West with the best of the East. So they know what it is to be completely professional, how to brand, how they've seen the world, and yet they've gone back to their roots. And this could be also said about the video where you saw the location, or where we will see the location, which is Nilambri, where also the owner has gone around, the founder has gone around, seen the world, and then come back and said, no, this is my roots. And I want to shine the line on my roots. Salila is one such person. She's been through the world, as you'll hear her story when you see the whole video. She found healing in India. And then since then, if you ever visit her website, I highly recommend it. Salila, please give it a plug for the link and everything. You will find that she has brought healing to the world. She has taken Kerala to the world, which is exactly what most of the Keralites do anyway. Dubai is a backyard of Kerala also. But they take the best of their culture, they know how to package it, and they know how to make it more impactful. So welcome to this conversation, Salila. Yesh, would you like to play or play the video? I'm sorry, whoever was here earlier, you're gonna have to see it once again. And Salila, please look at it with a very critical eye. Srini says, yeah, and you always look at it with a tough eye. So please do and look at it and do tell me what you thought about it. So let's start this and let's then go into Salila's journey.
Kerala has been an unalienable part of my life because every summer vacation I have come to Kerala and experienced the deep nourishing and the connection and the love. I am connected to Kerala in the way that my grandfathers, my parents all come from Kerala. And even though I was born and brought up outside of Kerala, I have always felt a deep connection to the people of Kerala, to the plants of Kerala, to the food, the cuisine, to all the beautiful things that Kerala has to offer, the love that Kerala has to offer that has come to me through my parents, my grandparents. Hi, my name is Salila. I am an Ayurveda health coach based in California. Because my family comes from a lineage of healers, of Ayurveda Vaidyas, my grandmother was practicing, my great-grandfather had a Sabhamadam academy where he taught other students how to practice. Ayurveda was always an important part of our diet and lifestyle. So my connection to Kerala almost began with the lessons I learned from my mother through the rituals, through the medicines, the herbs, how she cooked and the way she took care of our health. Mothers were there, my grandparents, my elders were there, who were always so keen to teach us about herbs and to tell us little admonitions, loving admonitions about Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So all this laid a kind of framework, a kind of lexicon of Ayurveda within me. So when I came back to Kerala in 2015, I was extremely sick and I came back to heal myself with the Panchakarma. And once I did that, I realized that all this while I was just lost and wandering in the West, looking for something to fulfill myself. But the real fulfillment was in Kerala, in the lap of nature, in the lap of Ayurveda. And I knew that just by spending 21 days in Kerala, among the people, being loved with Ayurveda, yoga, and just the general affection every person has to offer here, you just naturally start to heal. The land itself is healing, the people are healing, the rituals are healing, the food is healing, every experience is cathartic. And from there on, the purpose to offer this to other men and women who were similarly struggling, seeking, suffering in the Western world, that idea arose. And from there, my wellness travel agency started to inspire them to come and check it out here. So my first retreat grew out of that impetus, impulse. And it's been 7 years. The last several years have been building up on that idea and bringing in more and more people towards Kerala and to Ayurveda. And the realization that Kerala has something immensely valuable and precious to offer to the world. And because of our Ayurveda, because of our connection to nature, because of the way we have these rituals, the way we connect to each other, to the planet, to nature in Kerala, we have a unique sense of identity. We have a unique way we carry ourselves. So the signature retreats I hold are Panchakarma retreats. And during these retreats, the focus is entirely on healing the body, mind and soul through a Panchakarma. There is yoga, which is offered in the mornings, meditation, pranayama is offered. Additionally, my retreats also have communication with me where I act as a guide. So this main signature aspect of my retreats would be the presence that I offer, the guidance that I offer when someone is going through this process to help them come out victorious and confident after 14 or 21 days, ready to take on life, ready to take on their biggest challenges, ready to break through whatever was holding them back from living their fullest life. Be that having a child, be that letting go of a relationship that was not working, a job that was not working for them, or starting a new business. This is my first time at Nilambari and it has been just fantastic. I have sent clients to Nilambari before and they've had Panchakarmas here. I've spoken with Dr. I have several times spoken with Srini ji, who owns the retreat. And with Nilambari, what I've seen is that Srini ji, with his jet-setting sales background and his IIT educational background and his deep rooted in Kerala sensibilities, he has created this beautiful facility here. It is just like him. It is an extension of Meera ji and Srini ji's vision that this is a place where you come, feel like you're part of the family, and then you allow your body to heal through the Panchakarma that Dr. Jitesh and Dr. Rugma are offering. My first sense here is the love with which you are held every day. Everybody who works here, everybody is deeply involved in your well-being, in your happiness. This is what sets Nilambari apart. It's like you're visiting your elder brother's home and you're deeply healing with the Panchakarma.
Wow, that was quite a shoot, I must say, Salila. Thank you for giving us the privilege. Thank you for speaking from your heart and sharing your roots so authentically. Salila, I think you've pretty much given a great introduction to why you went there. Can you tell us what were the aspects of Ayurveda or healing that you found there, which you haven't seen anywhere else, and you could incorporate into the routine where you could then invite the world to come and see it? What were the elements that you picked up of Panchakarma, of Ayurveda, which you created into a healing package?
Panchakarma is a beautiful protocol for healing our mind, body, and soul. And when we do Panchakarma, we are nourishing our body, mind, and soul through these millennia old Ayurvedic rituals. The main thing about Panchakarma is that it's either nourishing for those who are weak in their body, or it is reductive for those who have excess tissues in their body. So when we do Panchakarma, we are actually nourishing our body on all layers. So this is usually done through decoctions, through herbal medicines, through different kinds of oils that have herbal extracts in them. So when I come back home after doing a panchakarma and I speak to my clients who are, very busy people from around the world who are either IT executives, business leaders, who are very, wealthy people with a uh, full stacked schedules. They don't have that kind of time to retreat and spend a lot of time on their bathing rituals or taking care of themselves through carefully placed diet like we do in Kerala. So we have to give them solutions that are quick, that are hacks they can easily incorporate. So I usually do it through the use of herbal support. So herbs like rasayana herbs that you can take at night before you go to sleep. So it could be something like a trifla, something like an ashwagandha, a little bit of shatavari with some honey and ghee. That's something that I offer almost everybody because these are universally beneficial herbs. Then using oils for your health and hygiene, for example, like taking a bath with an oil, so kind of mimicking the oil abhyangams, the therapies we do in Kerala. So we can't do it as extensively as that because obviously those therapies are done by professionals and we do it for hours. We bathe our bodies in oil, which is cleansing, which is nourishing. So at home, what we can do is we can just take a little bit of oil, warm it up, and apply it all over our body, and then wipe it off or wash it off with warm water. That is a very, very healing ritual we can do. As well as that, oil in itself is very nourishing and healing and restores the health in our tissues. So whether it is that we are gargling our mouth with oil, so it's called oil pulling, or whether we are applying a little bit of ghee in our eyes because we are all on our laptops and all of us have dry eyes at the end of the day. We have challenging vision because of that. So applying a little bit of ghee in our eyes. So these are 2 3 rituals that I definitely share with my clients to help them continue with the beautiful healing practices they experienced in Kerala.
Is Ayurveda? What does Kerala offer in terms of culture and creativity? I think it's a system problem because the other system.
So the question is, what does Kerala offer us in terms of culture and creativity? Kerala is extremely unique. It's a very very old culture, and a big part of Kerala was about maintaining the Vedic traditions and maintaining the beautiful literature that was passed down from the Vedic times. So even though Kerala has progressed immensely in the last 100 years, a lot of Kerala was about preserving its art and its culture. So the art forms of Kerala, the dance forms of Kerala still retain the roots. Because Kerala was so cut off from the rest of India, Kerala was not under the influence of the British directly. Even though the Portuguese and the Dutch came to Kerala and colonized it, the character of the people is such that we have held on to our very, very old, beautiful traditions all these years, in spite of the onslaught of modernism, colonialism, all kinds of influences. Even though we've kind of incorporated them, we have made sure that we have stayed true to what we are. And you will notice that Malayalis, even though they go out and travel and explore the world, they still retain their love for home, their pride in home and who they are. So till about 100 years ago, Kerala was very sheltered. It was almost like this in this time capsule. So even today, we value what Kerala has to offer, which is this peek into a very specific way of living, deeply rooted in nature, very close to the Vedic way of living. Our language is 90% Sanskrit. So that itself tells you how close we are to the very old ways of living, which is so truly Indian. And, that's from where the Indian civilization kind of grew out of. So we are still holding a very deep and close connection to that root.
Kerala fascinates the people that she has taken with her. And what have they said about her Panchakarma experiences in Kerala? She gave us a few case studies on how people who have followed the Panchakarma system have actually benefited, and especially Westerners or even locals who she has treated. So her clients, her guests. She tell us her best experiments and experiences in these trips that she has created and curated with such care. When we come to Salila's trips, what can people expect to experience during her treatment, and how does she personalize it for people?
Thank you, Sonia. So my company, Ayurgamaya, helps men and women of all shapes and sizes and you know, all backgrounds, all nationalities go to Kerala and heal deeply with the Panchakarma. So I personally do not heal them with the Panchakarma. I am an Ayurveda health coach. I offer them supportive rituals, and I take care of their diet and lifestyle tweaks so that they can maintain their health once they come back. Or I offer them support as they are waiting to go to Kerala for a Panchakarma healing. Most of my clients are people who have chronic issues and who are already working with physicians, and they want to go to Kerala and find a solution that their perhaps Western physician has not offered them. Or they don't want to be relegated to a life where they are on medication for the rest of their life, or surgery and steroids are the only answers. So when they come to me, I pair them with a Panchakarma center in Kerala, where the physician I know has expertise in treating their particular condition. So for example, I know beautiful facilities in Kerala where they are completely focused on, let's say, PCOS, PCOD, fertility issues. There are centers where the physicians have generational knowledge about bone health issues, so arthritic issues. There are places that are very good with like post cancer remission, post cancer nurturing of the body and bringing back the body to health, that kind of expertise. So when you hear Panchakarma, you may think like, oh, all centers have the same capacity, all doctors are trained in the exact same way. It's not like that. Just like a Western physician has specialties and they have really niche expertise in various parts of healing the body, similarly Panchakarma physicians too over time develop expertise in really specific conditions of the body. And that is where I come in. I help my clients choose the right facility. So you talked about some case studies, and I have incredible case studies. And if I tell people about the case studies, they might be like, what is this, like some kind of magic? How did this even happen? But I have seen people come in wheelchairs. I know about this little boy who met with an accident in school, and probably no more than 9, 10 years, of age, he injured his spine. He was wheelchair bound. He was a very avid sports person. He loved playing football. And then, he went to this facility. He did several, nearly like a couple of months long panchakarma to restore functionality back in his spine. And that little boy, he was a champ. He got out of his wheelchair. He went back to school. He went back to playing sports. So it is so gratifying to see a picture of him sad and defeated, sitting in a wheelchair, and now like kicking a ball in the football field, living his life, all thanks to panchakarma, all thanks to therapies. I have seen Alzheimer's patients thrive after panchakarma. They were told that that's it, this is it, you're just going to go downhill from now. And then they go to Kerala and they do a panchakarma, and they find that space, they find that break of 5 to 10 years. They can push forward that onset of the disease. They can delay it, so they can again enjoy 5 to 10 more years of their life. So I've seen that happen. I have had patients who have had such intense physical conditions that they had to get weekly injections to put the vitamins back into their body, let's say vitamin B complex and things like that, because their gut was no longer absorbing those vitamins. And this was somebody who wanted to be a mother, but she couldn't be a mother because her body was not able to absorb those vital nutrition. Her intestines were bleeding, and she was on blood transfusion, and she was getting weekly injections. One panchakarma of about 28 days is all it took for her body to heal, for her gut to heal. She comes back. She came back in like fall. February, she calls me and says, Salila, I'm pregnant. I'm expecting my baby. And then she had a baby, and she's healthy, she's happy. Mother and child are thriving. I know many people who have tried IVFs, 5, 6 tries, didn't happen. The husband and the wife both go to the Panchakarma center, cleanse their body, 21 days, 28 days. They send back a message saying, we've conceived, we're looking forward to having a baby. So these are all some of the small snippet into what Panchakarma can do. It is not the holy grail. It cannot work for everybody. It's not possible. But if you give it a try, if you give it your love, if you give your time, then I would say it works for 90% people. There's always 10%, right? We cannot say it works for everybody. Oh, and then there's this amazing person that I know of who had insomnia from the time she was a teenager. So she was actually, she was transgender, but she was not aware of it. So she was brought up in a Catholic home. So there was a lot of shame put on her. And because of that, she lost her ability to sleep. She developed so much stress in her body. She lost her ability to sleep, a full good night's sleep. And she was in her 40s now, and she had never slept properly from her teens to now. 14 days of Panchakarma, and she woke up one day and she said, Salila, I had to hit the snooze button so long because I fell asleep a good 8 hours. And I could not wake up today because my eyes were just closing. This is the first time in my life I've hit the snooze button. So such fantastic, miraculous sounding healings happen. But it's not miracles, it's science. The body wants to heal. When we take away everything that is standing in the way of the body from healing, the body just heals.
When someone is traveling, when there's an Indian who's traveling in India, or someone who's from, say, Dubai, who wants to find the most authentic centers in Kerala for healing, what should they do? Not many people can afford curated travel. So just as someone who's saying, okay, these are the centers that still preserve it authentically.
So I do not charge anything for my service. So I do not charge. I do this because I'm an Ayurveda health coach, and I feel like I'm an ambassador to Kerala and to Panchakarma. I do not charge people. This is totally, completely free from my side. So when someone approaches me, I connect them to the center. I take down all their requirements, and it only takes me about half an hour to, immediately, connect that, okay, this is your problem. This is what you want to be solved. And these are the physicians I know who are experts. And then I connect the centers to this seeking person, and then they do their stuff, and they work together, and they curate the experience, the panchakarma. So it's a myth that I charge something extra for my services. My services are absolutely free. But yes, if somebody got in touch with me and wanted to do a health consultation, that is chargeable. That is for sure chargeable. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a service you're doing, both to your land and to people around the world, and you're going to get a lot of blessings to this. I could see a lot of hands going clap, clap, clap already. But back to the question, where would you say you still see authentic in its most authentic form? Which are the centers in Kerala that people can still go to or avail their services?
Uh, there are 1,000 centers that are authentic. There are 1,000 centers that are authentic. I believe that 99% of physicians in Kerala want to do a great job. They want to give their best. They want to be seen as ambassadors to Ayurveda and Panchakarma. And Kerala has had this authentic tradition, right? Our royalty, everybody who Kerala still has this tradition of healing during the rainy season. We call it the Karkidaka Masam. Everybody, even from laborers, to the kings, everybody rests and retreats. We've had this. The thing is that not all centers are able to offer it authentically, because clients come having certain expectations. They don't want to do certain protocols. They don't want to do certain therapies because their bodies cannot handle it, or they come with expectations like this is going to be fun, this is going to be like a resort experience, and they demand that. And it's like Atithi Devo Bhava for us, right? Here in our Indian tradition. So when the guest is unhappy, then the host is going to try and make some tweaks to make the guest happy, and that's where it suffers. But of course, there are also centers that are wanting to make a quick buck and just offer you something that makes you happy, that makes you feel good. It's always good to go with somebody who gives you advice, whether that is someone who's already done that treatment or it's somebody who knows the physician. Even if the physician is known, you never know who has the right expertise for you. And it's not cheap, it's several $1,000s. So it's best to do your due diligence. People are very smart. People come to me with like they already have figured out 3 centers, and they want me to tell them, give my expertise on like which one is good for them. So that I charge them, because that is like an hour of understanding their issues, and then saying that, looking at the 3 centers they've chosen, and then giving them my idea and preparing them for a good trip. So that is chargeable. But if somebody books through me, it's completely free. And some of the centers that you would think about that are great are the established ones, like Kotekal Arya Vaidishala, if somebody wants to go. In Trishur itself, Sriniji would tell you about the Moose family that runs centers. That is also amazing. And yeah, these are some of the ones that are established, and you can be sure to have a great treatment there.
You're just starting on a trip right now. You're going to take a trip down Kerala again. You're returning to your roots again, as I'd say. Tell us about your forthcoming trip.
Oh, I'm so excited for this trip. I have been invited to speak at a TEDx conference about my journey, about the way I found my calling by doing Ayurvedic healing. So I'm excited to speak at the Jain University this 4th of February. I'm still practicing my TEDx speech, trying to keep it within those 18 minutes, So yeah, I'm leaving tonight. So which is why I'm a little bit, it's been very last minute, but God bless your soul for asking me out for this chat, and such a pleasure to have this conversation with you, Sanyaji.
I'm going to say two lines from your website that I absolutely love. You say this really well when you say wellness is the highest form or the best decision you make for being your highest form. Can you say it in your own words? And the second is, let me take you on a journey to Kerala. So I'd love you to quote unquote those words and explain the ethos behind it. And I know you have a hard stop in 4 minutes, so I won't stop you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So wellness is the highest form of self-healing. It is a intentional reconnection to your own highest self. I believe that true wellness is what happens not just on a physical level, but an emotional, a psychic, a spiritual level. We come with so many layers of gunk in our body, in our emotional body, our psychic body, our spiritual body, our energetic body. We collect all these memories from our childhood, everything from a teacher scolding us to, something that might have happened in our familiar life between our parents that we've collected as impressions. And these memories somehow sink deep into our tissues, and these remain there and they cause disease. And when we are healing with the panchakarma, it is absolutely astounding how these memories start to release. In my own personal experience, I've had about 4 panchakarmas so far. Every time I notice new memories coming up, and I'm like, I've completely forgotten about that. Where did that even come from? And then out it comes, and I watch it witness, and it releases me. And at the end of the panchakarma, I feel like a bird, I feel like a butterfly, I feel young and beautiful and happy. And that is such a beautiful feeling of strength. I feel like my Shakti has been restored. Like, the goddess has restored herself in my body temple. So that is how I feel at the end of every Panchakarma.
And you have this wonderful way of inviting everybody to join you on your journey to Kerala. So tell us about your journey now to Kerala.
I love to stay in touch via Instagram, via my community there. And every time I go to Kerala, I try to educate myself and others through my uh, explorations in the herb gardens, in the wilderness. Everywhere I go, I will talk to the staff there. I'll make friends with the staff because everybody in Kerala has such deep knowledge of the herbs, of food, of healing. So I am like a sponge. When I go there, I learn about it, and then I make little short Instagram videos on my handle. If anybody wants to check it out, it's salila.ayurveda, which is very simple. And I share these snippets, and I'm excited when I go. I find these wonderful people sharing this immense knowledge. High rises in Delhi, the gardener in a high rise in Delhi knows what a herb is. The wonderful people who are walking on the street during their just daily day to day going about, fishing or farming, they know everything about these herbs. And we who live in the Western world, who are so cut off from all that, how blessed are we that we can go back to Kerala and learn all this?
So I want to thank you from all of us. We are bang on the spot. It's 8:45 your time, and I want to say thank you. But before you go, can you introduce us to Srini sir and Yash? Can you make Srini the speaker so Srini can talk about where everybody's asked where is that season? How is it so green? That's a place called Nilambri where Salila is going to be on the 5th, and that's where we did the video. So I'd love Srini sir to talk about Ashtangam, and Yash, can you please take the handle Srini S and make him a speaker, please? Thank you, Salila. Can you introduce us to Srini sir's Nilambri from your personal experience?
Srini sir is incredible. He is an IIT grad. He had an international sales background. He was jet setting around the world and realized that he is not cut out for jet setting. He better come back to Kerala and reconnect with his heritage and offer the world the beautiful facility that he has created, which is just the best of Kerala, handpicked and chosen for the enjoyment of his guests from around the world. And here he makes such a heartfelt effort, such a soul satisfying effort to showcase the best of Kerala, be it art, be it food, be it hospitality. Srini sir and Meera ji, both of them are just incredible human beings, and every staff member who works with them is representing Kerala in their affection, in their deep knowledge, in the heart and soul that they bring to from their lovely facility called Nilambari. Whether you come to Nilambari for resting or retreating or for a function or for a deep healing with Panchakarma, cannot go wrong. So give it up for Sriniji.
Thank you so much. Yash is trying to add Srini sir to the conversation. I think Srini sir has logged in with the same link. Yash, can you please check? Srini sir, have you logged in with the link I've just sent you? Salila, once again, a thank you very much from all of us here at Rise. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for telling us about the higher side that we have and about how we can actually heal knowing our own roots. Also, I'm totally amazed and not, I also think deservedly so you're speaking at Rise, sorry, at TEDx, because you are doing a service. You are an ambassador for each one of us, whether we're from Kerala or from India. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Such a pleasure.
Let's all leave with this wonderful feeling of wellness around us and this knowledge that there is something in our roots that is so rich, which can heal us anytime, anywhere. When I first learned about Ayurveda and psychology, I was really, really surprised. I was wondering how Ayurveda had a very strong psychology component, but I realized it was, and it dealt with things like genetics, epigenetics, and everything. So it was a more holistic and more scientific, experimented, and well researched treatment than we have an impression of. So, here is wishing everyone wellness. And I'd like to say good night for the day from us at the Rise to Us Global Summit. Thank you.